The one thing that my mom did is she taught us that we love everybody, and she'd say that to us every school year. I want you to love everybody. And she likes to tell the story that I said first grade, even white folk, and that sounds like me. I don't remember that, but I believe it. We are on what I know is Old Middleton Road. That was the name of the street my whole childhood. Today it's Martin Grove Drive, probably because the church here is called Martin Grove. They changed the name, but this is where I grew up. I moved here probably when I was 3, and I left here when I was 17. My parents are some of the few parents that are still living. And my dad's 91, my mom turns 80 next month, so that tells you these houses have been here. I think we moved here in like 1972, been here a while. Jesus loves me, Jesus loves me so, Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me, that's all I need to know. That's all I need. There are people at my church now who have said, you know, we love your preaching, but we wish you wouldn't mention race. And I told them I'll never do that. That'll never happen. Never. My saying now is I'll stop when you start. If you start, then I'll stop. And what I ask people is racism a sin? They'll always say yes. So that's the one sin that is stopped then. You mean racism is done? And they can't say nothing to that. I cannot talk about that. I've been stopped by the cops more than we care to talk about. So, you know, that can tick you off. That Jesus loves me so. Thank you. We are in what I consider the famed Burke Street Gym. And again, the best basketball players in all of Alberton definitely played here. When I come in here today, it's just a lot of good memories, a lot of junk talking in this building. But again, you know, segregation. Even as I look at the building now, the NAACP has had to take over this building. The concerned black men have taken it over. This was a place where a lot of talent was, but when I think of this place, vision for the future, vision to get out of Alberton, out of your situation, it really wasn't here. And we had a lot of talent, but without vision, people perish. Have a lot of good memories here, a lot of good basketball is played here. But a lot of sadness for me too, even knowing that today in 2015 things still haven't changed in terms of segregation. White people will not come in this building, and so it's sad to me. People don't think they're racist. I think there are a lot of good people. You're just a part of a culture again. My second grade reading teacher, Ms. Balchin, she gave me an easy book. I had like Run, Sally, Run, Spot, Spot, you know, and Jump, Spot, Jump. And Christy Wilson has a book this thick. So I tell my homeroom teacher, like, look at my book, you know, and look at Christy's book. My homeroom teacher took me that day, Miss Sally Hood, who was a black Christian. She took me to the library and checked out a book on Dr. Martin Luther King. I read the book in one day. And that book, Martin Luther King to this day, is my favorite American, because he was driven by the Lord and he died for what he believed. This was the Christian private school in Alberton, and it was kind of a joke to me. We all knew that this was a part of further segregating us as students. It didn't really serve as a Christian school. I had a white friend that dated a black guy, and this is where her parents sent her. This is where a lot of times parents sent their kids to be separated from elements that they didn't want in their lives. And so I brought my son here, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and only to find that it was closed down, and it's grass and weeds and trees have grown up around it. And I told my son it's kind of poetic justice that this place didn't last. Only what's done for Christ will last. And this place was not built to honor Christ. It was built to further separate us as races. And so I hate to say this, but I'm happy when it see that nothing here now but trees and bush and growth. What we see, even especially here, is the danger of religion. I think the insidious nature of it. I think that it's got you before you know it. There are people that are dead and gone that died on this sword, willing to fight for segregation. They didn't call it that. They were doing the Christian thing, and we know better. I think we lie to ourselves a lot. I don't know of a racist. Nobody wants to be a racist. Yet, that's what this school was all about. I'm sad that people died in religion as opposed to relationship with them. We're talking about racism for this sermon, but it's really pervasive in every area of your life.